man. Let's get
All
into
right.
some of the topics, man. Let's start
Okay.
slamming. Let's start slamming. The first one, you just and I'm sorry I didn't write any of these down because I was doing
No
some beyond the
worries. That's
heavies.
how it is.
I was doing some beyond the heavies before But one of the things you wanted to talk about was very near and dear to my heart too, man.
Yeah.
Was understanding the backline, the backing tracks for live shows, man.
Ah.
And so I want to ask you though, okay,
Yeah.
as we're
Yeah.
gonna start slamming, and I hope people think like slamming, we're not talking shit. We're just
No. No. We're
it's
discussing.
talking, we're discussing.
Yes.
Is that so? My interpretation, right?
Mm,
I've
mm,
played shows in my personal life, right, with my
mm,
old band and stuff.
mm,
Nothing with Burning Legion yet,
mm,
but with from my understanding, backing tracks is like the metronome, and then
mm,
the song is in the earpiece, right?
mm,
And so
mm,
you're playing along with it, right? From
mm.
my I don't know if I'm
You.
understanding that, but maybe some bands do need it, maybe depending how technical or whatever it needs to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What's your interpretation, man?
So that's how I understand it, and there are many ways bands could do it. Like sometimes it's just the drummer
Hmm.
who hear the clicks. Sometimes the whole band hear the clicks in their in
Hmm.
ear. Sometimes it's actually uh uh basically, and the click itself could be done audio
Hmm.
or lights, like lights
Okay.
or there's some physical thing that actually kind of like you wear it, and then it gives you the pulse,
Oh,
whatever it is, to make you follow the beat. Because
interesting.
yes, because there's
Interesting.
so many ways to do it, but because everything is in the grid, is everything is in the hard drive, and then play back, and you play along with it. So
Hmm.
I mean, I always love bands that has uh add dramatic effect, like
Okay.
let's say with the intro, and then you go into like a tape before a song or before a show. We actually did every time we in the beginning of REOG, we always have a tape playing before the show,
Okay.
and then we start doing it again starting this year with the Texas tour and then the Indonesia tour. We started using it again because
Okay.
it adds to the drama a little bit,
Gotcha.
and it's kind of contrast with the stuff because it's a piano piece
Mm,
and sort of like orchestration,
mm.
and it's kind of like put you in the lull, sort of like, if you put the I'm talking about the intensity. If you put the intensity down so low, whatever you bring up, it will elevate the
It'll amplify it. It's gonna
amplify
amplify.
it so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
So that's what we did this past two tours, and it the effect was so good because
Okay.
it creates that excitement. Now I can appreciate that stuff if it's part of the intro or whatever. Now I can understand some bands who has uh like orchestra maybe or whatever and some songs
Some
and
technicality, maybe.
technicality or
Yeah,
orchestra that they have in the recordings or
yeah.
vocals or whatnot,
Okay.
and just to fill up the live show, your show.
It's safe to say, like tighten it. Is that what I'm understanding?
uh no, not tighten it, more like make it full. That's the
Okay,
word,
okay,
full.
okay. I see what you're
And
saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because
because
I was sorry to interrupt,
go
but
ahead.
no, because there was I don't know if you saw on some of the the tabloids, right, that they were saying that, oh, Zach Wild is doing backing tracks of, and I mean, from my understanding, I'm like, from what I'm hearing, what I see on the videos, I'm like,
Mm,
it doesn't sound like it. But
yeah.
then I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a stage manager. I'm not
Yes.
I'm not at that level to say, oh, he is or he isn't. Does it matter?
uh
No. To me, it doesn't matter because I'm like, you're still getting Zach Wild. You know what I mean?
Correct, correct, correct.
You
It's like
know,
this.
yeah.
I saw the last tour that Black Sabbath did with the Dio,
Mm.
and I'm pretty sure they have a second guitar player. Eh,
Mm.
and the thing is, it's not a click track. It's there's a guy back there.
There's a guy back. Corn did that. I know Corn did
Yeah.
that when Head
Corn,
was a
the guy is behind the cab. You can see him, but the
yeah,
Sabbath, it's off stage. You couldn't see it, but I'm
yeah.
pretty sure if you look at the footage from the tour that they did with Dio, they have a second guitar going. Now,
Ah,
going back to what we're talking about, it's like I could it's like this. Yeah, I get it if it's make your show full, but I probably prefer if you do it sporadically in a show.
yeah, I could
You know what I
understand
mean?
that. Yeah, because it's again, I'm coming from the old school, you're coming from the old school, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think bands like, and we're gonna talk about them Scorpions and stuff, that
yeah,
are like, hey, let's do a backing track, right? I don't
yeah,
think there was that. I mean, if it was Tony at, Live Aid, it was gonna be Tony. If it was gonna be
yes,
Brian May from Queen, it
yeah.
was gonna be
It's
They
gonna
they
be
they weren't thinking about that. Was it different? Absolutely. Right. But if we're gonna have that, because I know maybe one guitar, because that's what I've kind of been seeing, that it's mainly attacking the one guitar players, like
yeah,
Mick from Molly Crew, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, all those things. But it's like, hey man, if that's if that's as a band they decided to do that,
yeah,
screw it. Okay, cool. That's
yeah,
that's them. But as it pertains to any other type of heavy music, right? I
yeah.
say
I'm
like as
thinking
yeah.
the band that I'm thinking actually when I we talk about this is Dimmu Borgir, because
Okay.
Dimmu, when their breakout album around, I forgot the name. Uh, they the orchestration is so integral to the music.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and
It's
that makes sense.
yes,
That makes sense for them, because it's such a big component of the composition of the music, right?
yes,
That
yes,
makes sense. But if we're talking about maybe like, some another
yeah,
maybe like I don't know, Hey Breed,
yes. But let me ask you this.
yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you this. If a band like Dimmu Borgir, let's say, and then they have technical difficulties and their tape, I mean, their hard drive couldn't work,
Hmm.
I would think they would still be able to pull uh, without all of the orchestration.
Hmm.
They,
Hmm.
they will still slay.
Of course, yeah, yeah. But I
And
think
that's what important to me.
yeah, I think the backing tracks need to happen at a certain level of musicianship, that professionalism, right? Because if you got maybe like an Elton John, maybe like a
Mhm.
Bruno Mars, well,
Mhm.
we got a whole team now, right? We got a whole tech team, you know.
This is like that's a good point
Yeah.
because here's what I'm telling you. It's Elton John. If there's no power out in the stadium, he can still play the songs and people are still gonna
Oh
sing
yeah. Oh
with the
yeah. Oh
piano with
yeah.
no electricity.
Oh yeah.
Bruno Mars would still be able to play guitars or whatever that he plays. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are like I love those performances. Actually, speaking of which, I went to see
The Jonas Brothers.
uh
No, I'm just kidding.
Striper,
Oh, okay.
close,
Okay. Close.
Striper at the whiskey, and
Okay.
guess what?
Nah.
Power went out.
Oh.
Power went out. Power went out even before they hit the stage.
Oh.
You know what they did?
What they do?
They
What they
took
do, Sammy?
their practice amp
Amps?
with
Uh,
batteries,
uh,
put it on stage,
uh-huh.
and then they sing with just with that,
That's awesome.
and they give a
That's awesome.
show. You
That's
gotta
awesome.
respect that.
You got to.
Give
You
a
have to.
show, the whole show,
The whole show. Yeah. Yeah.
because they were expecting like, oh, is the power gonna be on? No, the whole block is dead.
Oh.
There's no AC.
Yeah.
There's no AC. People
Um.
stayed. I stayed the whole show.
Nice. Nice. And you're like, dude, this is
Just
probably
people sing along.
amazing. Yeah. 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 Wow.
It ended up being a show that you wouldn't get otherwise
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it shows how much number one uh, they persevere,
Okay.
and then number two, those guys can sing
Yeah.
without anything, no PA, no nothing,
Beautiful.
literally shouting out the song.
And
So
that kind of goes into the character of the band, right? Because like, hey,
yes,
look, okay, these people paid for a show. These people paid a ticket. This is their time. They came here to see us. Let's not, okay, hey, let's, go back to the
look,
hotel room. No, we're gonna fight it out.
look at it this way. Lots
Yeah.
of people like it's like for somebody they go to they go from leaving their house, they have the babysitter,
Hmm.
they they prep, they make sure somebody taking care of the kids, they
Hmm.
got gas money to go outside, and
Hmm.
then pay the parking, and then pay for the food that night, and then you have a good time, you're with your wife or whatever, and then you go to the show and they cancel because the tape doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. So you're breaking it down, Sammy.
Right,
You're breaking it down to a molecular level, man. But
there you
but
go.
yeah, it's true though. It's true. It's true, Sammy. And that's a good thing, man. And kind of like and we'll switch on to the next thing, man. But
Yeah,
it's like, you know, I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, as long as the performance is there, that's
correct.
me as a fan, right? I'm like,
Yeah,
hey, if they're still rocking it, if I'm still seeing Zach or Striper or whoever it may be,
yeah,
and they're still doing it and I get my money's worth, I'm cool. I don't care if they use backing track or not. Yeah.
yes. But
Yeah.
when it doesn't work, they can still rock.
They can
That's
still
how
do
it
it.
is.
That's how it is.
That's how it is. It's like
Perfect.
tape, do whatever you need to do,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
do the backing tracks, whatever. But when don't make it like a what's the don't make it like a crutch. So if you couldn't do it, you
Yes.
couldn't do it without it.
Yeah.
Then then you're cheating your fans a little bit.
Of course, of course.
Just do whatever that you're able to do. If that doesn't work, do the four piece that you do.
And go from
Whatever.
there.